Imagine walking into your local store in 2026 and finding entire shelves empty, not because of shortages, but because the government has banned what once felt ordinary. Cigarettes, sugary snacks, disposable vapes, even some cosmetics could vanish overnight. What you've bought for years may suddenly be off limits. New laws are reshaping how Britain shops, eats and lives, all in the name of health, safety and the planet's survival. This isn't a distant future, it's already unfolding. Here are 10 things you may no longer be allowed to buy in the UK once the next wave of bans begins. Number 1. Generational tobacco ban. The UK government is moving toward one of its boldest public health policies ever, a complete phase-out of tobacco sales for younger generations. Under the new law, expected to take effect from 2026, anyone born on or after January 1, 2009 will never legally be able to buy cigarettes in the UK. Each year that passes, the minimum age for buying tobacco will rise automatically, meaning tobacco sales will eventually disappear completely. The aim is to create a smoke-free generation and prevent young people from ever developing a lifelong addiction that kills over 78,000 people annually in Britain. This approach follows evidence from New Zealand and other countries where similar policies were tested with remarkable results in lowering youth smoking rates. For retailers, this means big changes ahead. Shops reliant on tobacco sales will need to shift toward new product categories, such as nicotine-free alternatives or wellness-based goods. Manufacturers are also bracing for a steady decline in demand and a strong push towards smoke-free innovation, like heated tobacco or medically approved nicotine devices. Public health campaigns are expected to intensify through 2025 to prepare citizens for the legal transition. The policy is not about punishment, but prevention, focusing on saving future generations from diseases linked to smoking, such as lung cancer, heart disease, and chronic respiratory conditions. For consumers, the message is clear: the clock is ticking for tobacco. Adults born before 2009 will retain the right to buy, but with fewer brands, higher prices, and increased regulation, smoking will become socially and economically less appealing. Younger generations will grow up in a society where cigarettes are viewed as a historical artifact rather than a daily habit. Experts predict the policy could save tens of thousands of lives over the next 2 decades and reduce the burden on the National Health Service by billions of pounds each year. This is not a temporary measure, but a permanent shift in how the UK defines public health and personal responsibility.
Number 2. HFSS food and drink advertising restrictions. From January 2026, the United Kingdom will begin enforcing strict advertising and marketing limits on foods and drinks classified as high in fat, salt, or sugar, HFSS. The policy targets products commonly promoted to children and aims to reshape how unhealthy foods are marketed across television, digital, and retail platforms. Advertising for these products will be banned between 5:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. on TV and entirely restricted for paid online campaigns. Promotions such as multi-buy offers or checkout placements will also disappear from supermarkets. The goal is simple yet ambitious: reduce exposure, reshape consumer behavior, and push the food industry toward healthier formulations. For the food and advertising industries, this is a turning point. Brands known for fast food, confectionery, and sugary beverages will have to rethink strategies, relying more on reformulated recipes or non-HFSS product lines. Major retailers are already testing shelf layout redesigns, healthier snack aisles, and digital campaigns focused on portion control. Analysts predict that by 2027, over half of mainstream snack producers will have reformulated at least one flagship product to meet the new nutrient thresholds. It's not just about restriction, it's about innovation, giving companies a reason to make food genuinely better rather than merely more marketable. For consumers, this will quietly change daily shopping habits. The bright, eye-catching offers on crisps, chocolates, and fizzy drinks will fade, replaced by displays for nuts, fruit bars, and low-sugar beverages. Children will see far fewer junk food ads on YouTube or during their favorite shows. The government expects this to reduce obesity rates among school-aged children by thousands within 5 years. Ultimately, these advertising restrictions signal a cultural shift, where the health of citizens takes priority over aggressive marketing.
Number 3. Cosmetic ingredient bans and reformulations. By 2026, the UK cosmetics industry will experience major regulatory changes that could redefine what products consumers find on store shelves. Authorities are tightening restrictions on several ingredients identified as carcinogenic, mutagenic, or toxic to reproduction, CMRs. Substances such as kojic acid, zinc pyrithione, and methyl salicylate are being reviewed or phased out due to emerging safety data. Any product containing these chemicals will no longer be allowed to enter the market after specific cut-off dates. Manufacturers will be required to reformulate, relabel, and test their items to meet updated safety and documentation standards. These changes aim to align post-Brexit regulations with evolving European Union cosmetics safety frameworks while prioritizing public health and transparency. For cosmetic companies, compliance will demand investment in research and safer alternatives. Laboratories are already racing to replace banned compounds with natural extracts or scientifically validated substitutes that maintain performance without toxicity. This transition period will challenge smaller brands that lack R&D resources, potentially leading to price increases and reduced product diversity. However, it also opens opportunities for clean beauty innovators who emphasize paraben-free, cruelty-free, and dermatologically safe formulations. Regulatory specialists predict that by 2027, ingredient disclosure will become a competitive advantage rather than a burden. Companies that adapt early will likely gain stronger consumer trust and brand credibility. For shoppers, this shift means greater safety and clearer choices. Labels will feature fewer synthetic names and more recognizable components, reflecting the growing demand for transparency. Products that once promised fast results may disappear, replaced by safer but slower-acting options. Dermatologists support the move, citing long-term benefits for skin health and reduced allergic reactions. These bans are not about limiting beauty, but redefining it through safety, responsibility, and modern science, ensuring the cosmetics of tomorrow protect as much as they enhance. Number 4. Single-use vapes and disposable e-cigarettes. From June 2025 and expanding into 2026, the United Kingdom will officially prohibit the sale of single-use disposable vapes, marking one of the most significant crackdowns on youth vaping and plastic waste. This decision follows mounting evidence that disposable e-cigs contribute millions of units of non-recyclable waste each week, while attracting teenagers through colorful packaging and candy-flavored nicotine pods. The upcoming Tobacco and Vapes Bill will extend these restrictions by regulating flavors, packaging designs, and in-store displays. Retailers will face heavy fines for violations, and imported disposable models will be stopped at customs. The government's intention is not to eliminate vaping entirely, but to ensure that products marketed as smoking alternatives do not become youth addictions or environmental hazards. For businesses, this change requires rapid adaptation. Vape shops must shift focus toward reusable systems, nicotine-free options, or medically regulated cessation tools. Distributors will need to verify stock compliance, ensure recycling schemes for used cartridges, and promote responsible disposal. Analysts estimate that by 2027, over 90% of the UK vape market will rely on refillable or rechargeable systems. Manufacturers that fail to evolve risk disappearing as the disposable segment collapses under regulation. The transition could also inspire greener packaging innovations using biodegradable materials or closed-loop recycling programs. For consumers, especially young adults, this ban will dramatically reshape purchasing habits. Popular disposable brands will vanish from convenience stores, replaced by refill kits requiring age verification and online registration. Advocates argue that these policies will curb impulsive vaping, reduce litter, and encourage quitting altogether. Public health officials expect youth vaping rates to decline sharply within 2 years, while environmental groups praise the policy as a long overdue step towards sustainability and accountability.
Number 5. Lead ammunition ban for hunting and shooting. Starting in 2026, the United Kingdom will begin phasing out the use and sale of lead-based ammunition for hunting and shooting sports. This long-debated reform comes after scientific studies confirmed that lead from spent bullets and pellets contaminates soil, water, and wildlife. Birds of prey, waterfowl, and even domestic animals often ingest lead fragments left in carcasses, leading to poisoning and long-term ecological damage. Under the new regulation, ammunition containing more than 1% lead for shotguns and 3% for bullets will be prohibited. Hunters and shooting ranges will need to transition to safer alternatives such as steel, bismuth, or tungsten-based rounds, which perform similarly but without the environmental cost. For manufacturers and retailers, this policy represents both a challenge and an opportunity. Ammunition producers will have to redesign their products to meet new material standards while ensuring compatibility with existing firearms. Retailers will face stricter labeling, licensing, and import verification to prevent illegal distribution. Shooting associations are already conducting trials to test non-lead substitutes, ensuring they maintain accuracy and reliability. Economically, the industry may experience temporary price fluctuations, but experts believe innovation will quickly stabilize the market. By 2027, most major suppliers plan to offer entirely lead-free product lines, aligning with broader European wildlife protection goals. For hunters and sports shooters, adaptation will be essential. Those who fail to comply risk losing certifications or facing fines. Environmental agencies urge enthusiasts to view this not as a restriction, but as a modernization effort that safeguards nature and public health. Reducing lead exposure also protects communities living near shooting areas from contamination. Ultimately, the lead ammunition ban reflects a new era of responsible outdoor sport, one where precision and tradition coexist with sustainability and environmental awareness.
Number 6. Plastic containing wet wipes and single-use plastics. By the end of 2026, the sale of plastic containing wet wipes and other single-use plastic products will be banned across much of the United Kingdom, beginning with Wales and expected to expand nationwide. This step follows growing evidence that these everyday items clog drainage systems, release microplastics into rivers, and harm marine life. Many wipes marketed as flushable fail to break down properly, contributing to massive sewage blockages known as fatbergs. The new rule will require all wet wipes sold to be plastic-free and fully biodegradable, while packaging must clearly state disposal instructions. Enforcement agencies will conduct random retail checks, and non-compliant products could face removal from shelves or import bans. The legislation aligns with the UK's broader zero plastic waste strategy, which aims to phase out all avoidable single-use plastics by 2040. For manufacturers, this transformation demands a complete overhaul of materials and supply chains. Brands will need to switch to cellulose or plant-based fibers that decompose naturally without releasing toxic microplastics. Production costs may rise initially, but long-term benefits include improved sustainability credentials and access to eco-conscious consumers. Supermarkets and beauty retailers are already testing new ranges of compostable wipes, bamboo-based cloths, and refillable cleaning pads. Industry experts predict that plastic-free products will dominate store shelves by 2027 as public demand for environmentally responsible items continues to grow. For consumers, the impact will be immediate and visible. Traditional wet wipes, makeup removers, and baby wipes will change in texture and durability, but offer the same convenience with less harm to the planet.
Environmentalists celebrate this as a meaningful lifestyle shift, one that places everyday responsibility in the hands of shoppers. This ban reminds the nation that even small personal habits, like how we clean or care for our skin, can collectively protect oceans, wildlife, and future generations.
Number 7. Product Safety and Metrology Act Regulations. The Product Safety and Metrology Act 2025 will begin full implementation in 2026, giving the UK government expanded authority to regulate a wide range of consumer goods. This law allows ministers to introduce new product requirements that determine which goods can legally be sold, how they are labelled, and what safety tests they must pass. It covers electronics, toys, textiles, household tools, and even smart devices, ensuring that imported and locally manufactured products meet updated British safety standards. Companies will need to display clearer safety markings, traceability codes, and country of origin details. The legislation also empowers regulators to remove unsafe or misleading items from both online and physical markets, signaling a major step toward modernized consumer protection. For businesses, this shift will require stricter compliance and documentation. Importers and distributors must now keep digital records of test results, safety certifications, and supply chain transparency for inspection upon demand. Retailers will also face higher penalties for selling non-compliant products, even unknowingly. As global trade evolves, the UK aims to prevent the influx of counterfeit electronics, hazardous toys, and low-quality goods that often bypass safety checks. Analysts expect that by 2027, routine digital audits will become part of the retail landscape, allowing regulators to trace unsafe products within hours instead of weeks. For consumers, this means greater confidence in what they buy. Items that once posed hidden risks, such as faulty chargers or untested baby products, will be harder to find. The Act's ultimate goal is to protect buyers without creating unnecessary bureaucracy, making product safety a shared responsibility between brands and the public. This reform represents the UK's commitment to building a marketplace defined by transparency, accountability, and higher quality standards across every household category.
Number 8. Crypto and financial product regulations. Beginning in 2026, the United Kingdom will roll out a comprehensive framework to regulate crypto assets and digital financial products under the Financial Services and Markets Act. This move is designed to protect investors from fraud, stabilize digital markets, and ensure that cryptocurrencies operate under the same transparency expected of traditional financial institutions. Companies offering crypto exchanges, stablecoins, or digital wallets will need to obtain formal authorization from the Financial Conduct Authority. Those failing to meet compliance standards could face heavy penalties or a complete ban from offering services to UK residents. These rules will also affect marketing. Platforms will be required to issue risk disclaimers and restrict misleading promotions about guaranteed profits or zero-risk investments. For crypto businesses, these regulations mark the end of the free-for-all era. Exchanges and blockchain startups must establish strong anti-money laundering systems, maintain clear records of customer transactions, and verify user identities before trading. It will raise operating costs but enhance long-term credibility. Analysts believe that by 2027, only a small percentage of crypto platforms will remain active in the UK, mostly those with international banking-grade compliance. This shift could also open doors for government-backed innovations, such as a digital pound, offering citizens a stable, regulated alternative to volatile tokens. For investors and consumers, this transformation will change how digital assets are accessed and advertised. Unverified overseas exchanges may block UK users entirely, while regulated apps will focus on transparency and education. Though some enthusiasts view it as restrictive, many experts argue it's necessary to protect people from scams and extreme market swings. This evolving framework signals that cryptocurrency is no longer a fringe concept, but a permanent, monitored part of the financial system. Number 9.
Energy drinks and high-caffeine beverage restrictions. From 2026 onward, the UK government is expected to tighten rules surrounding the sale of high-caffeine and high-sugar energy drinks, especially to people under the age of 16. The policy aims to address growing public health concerns after numerous studies linked excessive caffeine and sugar intake to anxiety, heart palpitations, sleep disruption, and childhood obesity. Retailers will be legally required to verify a customer's age before selling drinks that exceed 150 milligrams of caffeine per litre. Brands popular among teenagers, such as high-stimulus sports beverages, will face restrictions on advertising during children's programming and may lose access to school vending machines altogether. The reform follows strong backing from doctors' associations and parental advocacy groups calling for consistent national regulation. For beverage companies, these restrictions will accelerate a market transformation already underway. Many producers are reformulating their drinks to reduce caffeine and sugar content while adding electrolytes, vitamins, or natural alternatives like green tea extract. Marketing strategies will shift from energy boost slogans towards sustained vitality and mental focus themes aimed at adult consumers. Analysts predict that by 2027, at least one-third of existing energy drink products will either be reformulated or discontinued. Brands that adapt early with transparent labeling and balanced formulas are expected to dominate the restructured market. For consumers, this change brings a subtle but positive shift. Supermarkets and convenience stores will likely reorganize shelves, placing restricted drinks behind counters, similar to tobacco products. Teenagers will encounter more low-sugar, caffeine-light options, reducing dependence on stimulants. Public health experts anticipate measurable declines in youth caffeine consumption within 2 years. This regulation reflects a broader cultural change, recognizing that health protection should begin not in hospitals but at the checkout counter.
Number 10. Emerging chemical and environmental product bans. By 2026, the UK is preparing a new wave of bans targeting hazardous chemicals and environmentally harmful substances found in everyday goods. Regulators are reviewing a list of over 25 materials under the UK REACH programme, including formaldehyde, PFS, forever chemicals, and certain flame retardants used in textiles, cookware, and cleaning agents. These compounds are linked to cancer risks, hormonal disruption, and environmental persistence that contaminate soil and water for decades. Once finalized, products containing these substances will either require reformulation or be removed entirely from store shelves. The focus is not only consumer safety, but also ecological recovery, protecting rivers, farmlands, and wildlife from toxic residues. For industries, compliance will mean rethinking everything from raw material sourcing to waste management. Manufacturers of furniture, electronics, and packaging must test components for restricted substances and prove safer alternatives have been adopted. Industrial cleaning brands are shifting toward biodegradable surfactants and water-based solutions. Analysts project that by 2027, green chemistry will dominate product innovation as investors favor sustainability-driven companies. Though the transition may raise short-term costs, it positions UK businesses as leaders in environmentally responsible production, strengthening export potential across European and global markets. For consumers, these changes may appear subtle but have long-term benefits. The cleaning sprays, non-stick pans, and synthetic fabrics used daily will become safer and less polluting. Households can expect clearer labeling, with warnings for allergenic or chemical-sensitive ingredients. Environmental scientists estimate that cutting PFS and similar toxins could reduce chemical pollution by 40% within 5 years. This marks a decisive step toward a cleaner, safer Britain, where consumer protection and environmental responsibility move forward together.
The UK is entering a new era where health, safety, and sustainability are shaping every purchase. From tobacco and vapes to sugary foods, cosmetics, and plastics, each new restriction reflects a national effort to protect both people and the planet. While some may view these bans as limiting choice, they're actually paving the way for cleaner air, safer products, and healthier habits. By 2026 and beyond, shopping in Britain will look entirely different, more responsible, transparent, and environmentally conscious. Every product on the shelf will carry a story of reform, innovation, or replacement. These changes aren't just about government control, they're about redefining what progress looks like in daily life. Whether it's the food you eat, the drink you buy, or the packaging you throw away, each decision will shape the kind of world the next generation inherits. The age of convenience is transforming into the age of consciousness, and that transformation has already begun. If you found this video informative, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss updates about new UK laws and lifestyle changes. Comment below which ban surprised you most and share this video to help others prepare for what's coming next.